Yeah. Spruce trees came in, let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm actually waiting for 2 more. I hope they're on their way. But this was from fastgrowingtrees.com, and they are so chubby and beautiful. These are the 3 to 4 foot type. I wanted these for the firs too, but they didn't have them. Firs apparently sell out really fast, and we weren't ready to buy them. So here they are. Oh, gorgeous. So these are, when you grab a spruce, they hurt. I'm not going to do it. They're very pokey, and so these will deter the deer a little bit more than the fir will, and hopefully we can protect the firs with these spruces. Gorgeous, gorgeous March day, and I've got my tape measure, and I'm walking out to the stone wall in front of our house because we're about to plant some trees out there. I've done a little bit of measuring to kind of tell myself how many trees we need, but now is the time where I need to get out there with a tape measure and actually put the trees where they're gonna go so we can dig our holes and get them planted. Because this weather, oh man, this weather is so beautiful. Really good time to be doing something like this. So here's our wall. And our house is actually pretty close to this busy street, and so the idea is that over time it'll actually provide a little bit of sound barrier and a little bit of visual privacy from the road. There's some daffodils growing, looking lovely. I was able to get this much mulch last fall, and I didn't get any of that mulched over there. It's just a lot of work. We have a big property. We've never had anything like this before, and it's just taking some time figuring out what to prioritize, what to do, what do I need help with, what can I do myself. Yeah, it's just a lot of work. So at some point very soon, this will have mulch and trees along the whole front. They need to be about 10 feet away from the wall and about 10 feet away from each other because both of them have a spread of about 20 feet. I'm going to explain what's going on here. We've already planted the fir trees, and now we're trying to place where the spruce trees will go. We want them to be staggered in between exactly 10 feet from each fir tree. And so we're making an arch and placing these posts in between in an X, and then sinking one of these sticks where the spruce trees will eventually be planted. Look at the cuteness of this row of evergreens. It's actually a double row, so we've got the spruce out here in front. Hopefully will help deter the deer a little bit, and then that one's looking a little rough, but we did get a warranty on these guys. So this is the Douglas fir, and these are at the very beginning of their life. Even though they're a few years old, once they get established roots, they'll be able to really start growing and could get as fat as to reach all the way to the wall. 20 feet is kind of the max width that they get, and I'm guessing since we planted them a little close, 10 feet apart, they probably won't get that big, at least in our lifetime. And if they get too big, you know, somebody could always weed them out, but we do want a screen, and so that's why we planted them 10 feet apart. And even here, they're 10 feet at a diagonal in between the firs. And then we went across. We decided to actually do an extra one here and an extra one here. This might require some pretty heavy pruning at some point as it gets closer to the sidewalk. And we could always just cut it down. That's why Donna kept telling me, like, it's for now. So if we want to cut it down later, if it gets massive in 20 years, we can cut it down. So we're going to do one more fir. I bought the fir online yesterday. And then these are just still in transit. So these are 2 more spruces over here. And you can see the road is very busy. It's very loud. We never use the front porch because of how loud it is. And then the other thing that I'm thinking about is what to do with this space right here. I want this year to be kind of focused on curb appeal and just a pretty view from the street. A welcoming, like house and front yard. So I'm not really sure what we're going to do here. Not pumpkins again. I definitely don't want to do that twice in a row, especially with the amount of pest pressure that we had last year. But we did have the sunflowers last year, and I loved those. I saved all the seeds I could from my very favorite reddish sunflowers, and then I just bought more sunflower seeds in like pink and purplish and peach and red tones. And so I thought that would be really cool to do unusual sunflowers here again, but in only those tones. I think that would be really fun. And the sunflowers were so fun. I probably left them up a little too long because they started looking kind of dead by the end of the year, but the birds really loved them. And that would still give us a little bit of that screen effect this year before, I mean, it's going to be a long time before this gives us any kind of screen here.